In that one-room country school, I was fortunate. I had a very good teacher, and my mom had been a school teacher before she married my dad, the farmer. And my mother education was really important to her. And she pushed us kids, not in a aggressive way. She just read to us a lot, and as a result, I skipped 2 grades in that one-room school. I got out of public school when I was 11 years old. Socially, it was not very smart, but that's where I was. I went to high school in a town called Tilsonburg. It was about 15 miles away, and I took 5 years high school there. That's what the Ontario high school system was. The end result of all of that was I was finished high school just before I turned 17. I was 16 years old. It was wartime. It was an uncertain time. Guys in my class were older than me by a couple of years. They were going in the Army or the Navy or the Air Force, and you get caught up in that. I was in the Army Cadets at high school. I commanded a platoon, and it's funny how you really get caught up in it. So I thought, well, I've got to do something too. And I was kind of at loose ends. I'd kind of goofed off the last year of high school. They thought I was good enough to get some kind of a scholarship. I didn't. I was playing hockey, and I'd found out about girls, and so it was a tough year. So I decided the only place it could possibly take me would be the Merchant Marine. Hitchhiked to Montreal. It must have been hard on my mom, I think back on that. And they basically said, well, go home and get dry behind the ears. And we were riding in the train back. We had 5 cents left over, I remember, because hitchhiking was tough in Quebec, and we had 5 cents, another guy and I, to get us back close to home. And we ran into a guy in the Canadian Air Force. He said, I'll tell you how to solve that problem. You get off the train in Toronto and join the Seamen's Union. And we did. I've still got my Seamen's Union card. And they took us. And they took us on Norwegian ships, and the reason for that was Norway was occupied during the war, couldn't get replacements if they lost ships, which they did, and lost sailors, which they did. They could take greenhorns like us, and so that's how I got started. I was joined the Seamen's Union, and then joined the Canadian Merchant Marine. I still have my Merchant Marine certificate and my union card, and ended up going by train to New York City. And I sailed out of New York City on Norwegian ship for the rest of the war. I was lucky. My friend that went with me went to Murmansk in Russia. Terrible trip. And I was lucky. I got on a smaller ship, wonderful captain, and we went to South America. I made I think nine trips, and one on up to Newfoundland and so on, but 9 trips basically in the tropics. I was not in much danger. I mean, we were in convoys all the time with escorts, and I was aware of it. And we were called a defensively equipped merchant ship, had guns in the front, guns in the back, a couple machine guns, and a couple of regular Norwegian Navy gunners on it. But that was a bad place in 1942, 43. By the time I got there in 44, it had pretty much been calmed down. We saw a little bit of a flurry on a convoy right at the April of 1945. I think it was kind of the last gasp for German submarines. But other than that, if I was in danger, I wasn't aware of it. I mean, we were blacked out at night, all of those things, and had escorts, but I was not, to the best of my knowledge, in any real dangerous situation. So that's my Merchant Marine experience.